Hello, I'm Pastor Mickey Bell, and this is Grace Church Bessemer. Well, it was about 7 years ago. I began watching Pastor Vernon on TV every Sunday night. It wasn't too long into watching him that he hosted his first ever gathering of the Shepherd's Pastors Conference. I knew I would probably be the only white pastor there, and I was, but that didn't stop me. I had to have what Dr. Vernon was teaching.
During those years, Pastor Mickey was serving in a traditional church with an elder board that prevented him from applying all of the principles he was learning from Pastor Vernon. But something kept him listening and coming to Cleveland, Ohio to learn, and now we know why. After being forced out of the traditional church, the Lord started impressing upon the heart of this pastor's family to step out and launch a new church plant. All of a sudden, all of the teaching and seeds that Dr. and Lady Vernon had put into this family for the past 5 years kicked into gear, and Grace Church Bessemer was born.
Well, there were 3 families sitting in our living room when we decided to announce our official plans to begin Grace Church Bessemer. We set the date for January the 5th, 2014. We had no idea who was going to show up or even what to expect. We were just believing God from start to finish, and He absolutely blew our minds.
Pastor Mickey and Miss Wendy knew exactly where they wanted to plant this church, right in the middle of Bessemer, Alabama, in a city that has just been named in the top 10 of the most dangerous cities in the U.S. They took over a shopping center that had been closed for more than 6 years.
We stepped out on faith. Before we had our first service, we had already taken over the Tommy Hilfiger building. I kid people all the time. I say, where you used to get jeans, you can now get Jesus.
After a successful launch date that proved that this was God's will, the Bell family continued to implement the principles of growing Grace Church Bessemer they had learned from Dr. and Lady Vernon.
We opened in January, and by March, we were already giving out food boxes to those living around our church. But I knew I wanted to go bigger. I wanted to make a huge impact for the community, so we began planning for a major undertaking in feeding our community for Thanksgiving. I will never forget Dr. Vernon calling me to ask me how the plan was coming along to feed our community. I explained the steps I had taken, and then he called me out and he challenged me. He said, "Mickey, I need you to go hip-hop." I just trusted my pastor, and I went hip-hop.
You are now rocking with the best.
95.7 Jam is giving back for Thanksgiving. Don't miss the Thanksgiving Grace Giveaway. Sunday, November 23rd at Grace Church Bessemer.
Introducing to the world.
Hey, this is Pastor Mickey from Grace Church Bessemer. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and we just want to be a blessing. Join us Sunday, November 23rd at 10 a.m.
The Sunday before Thanksgiving, Pastor Mickey and Grace Church Bessemer prepared 600 food boxes and blessed the city of Bessemer. In fact, they had to have 2 services that day to accommodate the crowds of people.
All I was doing was simply listening to the direction of my pastor, R.A. Vernon, while following my heart to bless our community. And this was just 10 months into our first year.
Not only did Grace Church make an impact on their city with the food box giveaway during Thanksgiving, but they created a foundation during their first year as a church by seeing 52 people give their lives to Christ. But Pastor Mickey was already working on his next project. Once again, with Pastor and Lady Vernon by their side, Grace Church Bessemer opened up an 8,000 square foot kids activity center, a place where families can come to church and know their kids will have a great time as they learn about Jesus. And the blessings just continue.